Hello, my name is Thomas Campbell. I'm the owner of Pitmaster Essentials. I would like to welcome you to my kitchen. Over the past few weeks, I've noticed that I've had quite a few new subscribers, so I just want to welcome you if you're new. And if you've been around for a while, welcome back. I'm grateful for every one of you that watch my videos. So today, I'm actually going to be preparing for Easter. So today we're going to be cooking a spiral sliced ham. This is actually a hickory smoked honey ham that I got from my local Aldi's. It's about it's like about 9.5 pounds, and these are really easy to do. So we're going to put a little bit of a barbecue touch on them. So stick around, and I'll bring you back here in just a few minutes and show you how to get it done. Okay, so we have the ham out of the package. Now normally what I do is I take this ham glaze and I toss it, but I'm actually going to hang on to it and I'm going to use it this time. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a binder on here, but I'm going to use some Dijon mustard on this one. And you don't need a lot, and don't worry, this isn't going to affect the flavor at all. Okay, so the reason that we add a binder is so that way that the rub that we're going to put on here is going to adhere and it has something to stick to. Okay, so for this cook, we're going to use Butcher BBQ Honey Rub. This is a fantastic rub. And double smoking a ham is actually one of the easiest cooks you can do because it's already fully cooked. So we're just going to add a little bit of barbecue to it by putting a little bit of rub on here. And so pretty much what we're doing is we're adding a little bit of flavor. We don't want to add too much because we're going to put that glaze on there. But this is just going to put some beautiful color on it for presentation. And like I said, add a little bit of flavor. So you're going to press your rub into the meat. Okay, that looks pretty good. Like I said, we're not going to put a ton of rub on here. This is a ham, not a pork butt, so it's already cooked. So we're going to let this set for, I don't know, 15-20 minutes, and then we're going to head out to the pit and get it set up, and then I will meet you out at the kettle. Okay folks, and welcome to the kettle. So I'm going to show you my setup here in just a minute. But as you can see, I'm bundled up a little bit warmer this time versus the last video. It's about 35 degrees outside right now, a little overcast, but it's still a pretty nice day for March. This time of year, we're not really for sure what we're going to get, so I'm taking advantage of this. At least it's not snowing, even though I do have snow in the background. So give me just a minute, and I'll bring you in a little bit closer and show you my setup. Okay folks, so as you can see, I'm using an attachment. This is my Slow and Sear original. And by the way, I have a discount code in the description below, so please check that out if you're interested. But I'm going to be setting up my Slow and Sear, kind of like the snake method, but we're going to use the insert. And then I just have a drip pan here. With this cook, I'm going to use B&B Competition charcoal briquettes. So I'm going to grab the charcoal and get started on setting this up. Okay, so I don't anticipate this is going to be a very long cook, so I'm not going to use a ton of charcoal. I would have liked to use applewood, but all I have is cherry, so I'm going to use cherry chunks, just a couple of them, and just kind of stick them over here on the side like that. And with this ham, it's already been smoked, so we don't want to put too much smoke on it. So just a couple chunks. Okay, so you can see I left a little bit of a pocket here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to light about 8 or 10 charcoal briquettes in my chimney. And then I'm going to put the lit charcoal over here. And then what it's going to do, it's going to act similar to the snake method, where it's going to burn very slowly all the way across. And it's going to keep the kettle around, I would say around 250, 275 degrees. And I don't anticipate this is going to be a very long cook. So I'm going to grab the charcoal and the chimney, and then we're going to get these lit, and then I'll bring you back at that time. Okay folks, so I got my chimney set up. I got about 10 or so briquettes in there. Got a couple paraffin cubes down there. So now let's get it lit. Okay, so we're going to let that go for about 15 minutes and then I'll bring you back at that point. Okay folks, it's been about 15 minutes, so our coals are good and hot. So we're going to add them into the slow and sear. Okay, so we got our lit charcoal in there. So what this is going to do in the slow and sear is it's going to slowly burn across, kind of like the snake method. It's going to give us a nice even cooking temperature, because I'm going to clean off the grates here, but I'm going to have my ham over here whenever I go to put it on, so it's going to cook indirect. And also, as far as the lid goes, when I put the lid on, I'm going to have the exhaust vent holes over top of the ham, so that way the smoke will go across the ham and we'll get a nice double smoke flavor on there. So give me about 15 or 20 minutes and I'll bring you back at that point when we put the ham on. Okay folks, and welcome back to the kettle. So the ham has been resting. It looks phenomenal. It smells amazing. If you don't have any Butcher BBQ Honey Rub, I highly recommend that you grab some. Kettle's coming up to temp, showing about 300 degrees on the dome. The ThermoWorks signal is showing 243. So let's get this on there and get it cooking. Okay, so now we have the ham on the kettle. So now we're going to let it cook for about an hour. I anticipate that this is probably going to take maybe 2.5 hours, something like that. It's already fully cooked, so we're just going to add some smoke to it, a little bit of barbecue flavor, and we're going to heat it up to an internal temperature of 140 degrees. And so we're going to let the kettle do its thing, and I'll bring you back here in about an hour. All right folks, I wanted to bring you in a little bit closer. So on my top exhaust vent, I'm actually going to cut this down to about half, because right now we're at 266 at the grate, so I want to keep it right around 250. And on the bottom here, I got the bottom vent in between closed and smoke. So we're going to leave it like that and let it go. That should keep me right around 250 degrees. Okay folks, welcome back to the kettle. So it's been about an hour. My ThermoWorks signals is showing about 245 at the grate. The dome temp is showing, it's like 320 degrees. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to open these up just a little bit, about like that. So let's take a look and see how the ham's coming along. Oh yeah, she's looking really good. Smells amazing. So as you can see back here, you can see my charcoal is starting to burn all the way across, so that's a good sign. So let's check the temperature and see where she's looking. All right, so we're still at, looks like about 55 degrees, 53 degrees. So we got a little ways to go. So what I'm going to do, so I can get an even cook, is I'm actually going to spin this around. So I'm just going to grab the ham. Spin it around, just like that. Okay, so we're going to give it about an hour or so, and I'll bring you back at that point. Okay folks, and welcome back. So it's been about 2 hours. The ThermoWorks signals is showing 258 on the grate. The dome temp over here is showing, looks like about 320 degrees. So let's take a look at it and see how she's looking. That ham is looking good. It smells amazing. Take a temp on it and see where we're at. So So we're about 88 degrees. So we still got a little ways to go. So we're going to close it back up, and then I'll bring you back here in about another hour or so. Okay, and welcome back. So it's been about 2 hours. Great temp on the ThermalWorks signals over there, showing 255. Temperature on the dome over here showing about 320 degrees. So let's take a look and see how the ham's looking. That ham looks really, really good, and it smells amazing. All right, let's take a look and see what our temperature is. All right, looks like our temperature is about 91 degrees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this again, another 180 degrees. I'm also going to put a temp probe in it to keep an eye on the temperatures. Okay, we got our temp probe in, so now we're going to close it back up and give it another hour or so. Okay folks, and welcome back to the kitchen. So the ham is almost ready, so now it's time to make the glaze. So remember the ham glaze packet from our ham, definitely hang on to that. So I looked up the instructions. Basically we add this to a pot with 2 tablespoons of water, bring it to a boil, and then it's time to glaze. So let's get to it. So there's the glaze, 2 tablespoons of water. Okay, and after a couple minutes here, coming to a boil, just like that. So now it's time to go glaze the ham, so I'll meet you out there here in a few minutes. Okay folks, so we're back out to the kettle, so I think it's time to glaze. That ham looks so good. Okay, so now let's put the glaze on the ham. So what we're going to do now is just let this tack up. I venture to say we probably got about, I don't know, half an hour or so. This ham's taken a little bit longer than anticipated. I anticipated it was only going to take maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, somewhere in there. And we're actually on about 4 hours right now. But that's okay. Sometimes they take longer than anticipated. These are great for Christmas. Just any time that you want to smoke a ham, they're relatively cheap. I think this was about $21 at my local Aldi. So, I mean, you can't beat that because I have a family of 5 and my family will probably be able to eat this for, I don't know, for at least 2 or 3 days. Okay, so we're going to give that about another 20-30 minutes to tack up, and then I'm going to pull it off and let it rest. So I'll bring you back at that point. All right, folks, and welcome back to the kitchen. So the ham is finally done. It's been resting. So now is the best part where we get to slice into it and see how we did. So let's take a look at it. All right, that looks incredible. So let's see if I can get it out without messing it up. Okay, now that is an amazing looking ham. So between the Butcher BBQ Honey Rub and the glaze we put on there, it's got a honey glaze on there as well, and just, oh, it just smells so good. The whole kitchen just smells absolutely amazing. All right, so I got the brisket slicer out. I don't know if I'm gonna need the brisket slicer. I think I'm just gonna see if I can get a piece off of here. Give me one of these edge pieces right here. Oh, look at that. Look at the smoke on that ham. All right, so we got a little bit of smoke, got a little bit of caramelization. Let's see how we did. That is phenomenal. Between the Butcher BBQ Honey Rub, that little bit of glaze, the honey or the hickory smoke that we had on there, that is just a wonderful combination. So if you're looking to do an Easter ham, if you're looking to do a Christmas ham, this is a great recipe. Like I said, I got this from my local Aldi. I think it was like $21, $22, something like that. I used the glaze packet and it came out great. And on top of this, I didn't use anything fancy, just the Weber Kettle. So anyways, with all that being said, I thank you for watching the video this far. Please like, share, and subscribe. And also, remember, Pitmaster Essentials is where flavor meets smoke. And I'll see you in the next one.